Hi everybody, welcome to Simply Scuba. Here we have the XDeep Closed 140 centimeter dSMB. So this is a delayed surface marker buoy to show your position in the water, something that you take with you on the dive and then inflate underwater. It'll shoot up to the surface and then anyone on the surface will be able to see it. Let's take a closer look. Okay, so this is how it arrives in a nice cardboard box, very eco-friendly. XDeep logo on the front, just barcodes on the back, and that's about it. So on the inside, you get a bit of tissue paper, keep your dSMB neatly presented, and then you get your SMB itself. And that's about it. So yeah, let's take a closer look. Right, so here's the buoy. Down at the bottom, you have this big loop made out of webbing, and it's sewn on the sort of the lower half to make it a bit thinner. So that's what you're going to be attaching your line onto, and you've got plenty of space. Very easy just to loop a line or a spool through that. A little bit further down, you have a small section of like 2, maybe 3 mil bungee. So that's when you're storing it away, you roll it all up and then you use that bungee just to sort of keep it all neatly wrapped up. Moving further up, so the bottom of this dSMB is sealed. The whole thing is a closed cell, so that means any air that gets into it isn't going anywhere unless you undo it and sort of break that valve to allow it to escape. So that's great when your SMB isn't fully inflated and it reaches the surface and then it flops over. If it's an open-ended design, it means that the gas can just escape down out of the bottom, whereas when it's completely sealed, can't go anywhere, so it stays inside the dSMB and it stays inflated. A little bit further up, you have the inflation tube. So you're either going to use a low pressure inflator hose, either the one from your BCD or the one from your dry suit, or if you fancy, you have a separate line just for that. You can also orally inflate it. It's spring loaded, so as you push it in, it opens that valve. So you have to push it in, blow into it, and that will inflate the dSMB. But this is metal, so try not to use your teeth, just so it doesn't do anything nasty against your teeth. But a quicker way is just to use a quick release sort of hose from your BCD. Just put it on like it would your BCD, except this doesn't have a locking mechanism. So as you push it on, it won't click into position, it will just slip off, so you never have to worry about that. As your dSMB shoots up to the surface, the gas on the inside is naturally going to expand. So once it's fully inflated, you don't want it to keep inflating, so you have an overpressure valve just above, and this is going to allow any excess gas to escape, so your dSMB doesn't go up to the surface and then explode, and also so that you can drain it at the end of the dive. Just put on that little toggle, and it's just like the dump valve on your BCD. It'll vent gas out of that, and if any water ever gets in, you can drain it out of that as well. Moving up the length of the SMB. So this is 2 separate pieces of material that are sandwiched and then heat welded and stitched together. If you ever have a single seam just down one side, it usually means it's a single piece of material that's just folded, and where that fold is, it can wear over time, whereas this design is much better in my opinion. It's much stronger and more robust because that one particular seam isn't folding again and again. Moving down to the very top of the dSMB, and we have a section of soleless reflective tape. So this is very effective at reflecting light when it's shone in its direction. So if you're out in the water at night, this on the surface, someone shines a torch in its direction, it really reflects back at them, so very good to help you be seen. And it also has this message pouch, so clear plastic, open at the top, closed at the bottom. So if you have a notebook, you can write something down, roll that page up, and then tuck it into there. Or if you're using glow sticks, you can pop a glow stick inside of that, and then the dSMB sort of holds it out of the water. And then at the very top, you have a webbing loop, just for whatever, so you can attach onto that at the top. Now the whole thing is what, 12 centimeters across, 140 centimeters from tip to tail. So that's a decent size, even when you're in sort of relatively high seas. When it's fully inflated, sticking out of the water, you should be able to see it from a fair distance away. Okay, so let's review the XDeep 140 centimeter narrow dSMB. So we reviewed buoys and 4 different categories and then a 5th overall score. So we're looking at the size because dSMB has to be a decent size so that people can actually see it. And then they have the ease of use because, you know, when you're under the water, it's got to be fairly easy because you're trying to manhandle the spool as well. The features that are on the dSMB because different dSMBs have different features and some of them are better than others. The cost, because, yeah, the cost. And then that overall score. So first of all, we're looking at the size. So I gave this 5 out of 5. 1.4 meters, decent size, so it's going to stand out. It is a narrow dSMB. You can get chunkier dSMBs that do stand out a little bit better. But there's no reason why this one wouldn't stand out in the surface. This one's obviously the yellow version. There are red versions as well if you want it as a more of a location marker instead of emergency or whatever yellow means to you. But yeah, as far as size goes, yeah, perfectly fine for me. So 140 centimeters, 5 out of 5 is fine. Ease of use. Again, 5. It's got a big loop down at the bottom, so very easy to attach a line onto that. You can orally inflate it. You can use a quick release low pressure inflator hose. Yeah, ticks all the boxes with that, so 5 out of 5 again. Then looking at the features, it's got everything from a message window, reflective tape at the top, the nozzles and everything, the little bungee loop, it ticks all of the boxes. It's a closed cell as well, which is a great feature that I love on all of my dSMBs. So yeah, 5 out of 5 again. And then cost, so this sits pretty much in the smack dab in the middle of the kind of the range of prices. You can get really cheap dSMBs and you can get really expensive dSMBs. This one is pretty much in the middle, and for what you get, all of these different features, yeah, it sits in a really nice place. So again, 5 out of 5 for that, because yeah, with other BCDs in this range, you don't get that sort of quick inflate nozzle, or you're not getting solus reflective tape, you're not getting a message window, you're just getting a DSMB. And yeah, the box that it comes in is not just a plastic bag. You get a decent cardboard box with a little bit of sort of tissue paper in it as well, which I know is a little bit much, but it is better for the environment because you can recycle all of that. So yeah, an overall score is 10 out of 10. I can't fault it. The closest thing to a fault that I can give it is that it's narrow, but that's never been an issue for me. It still works, still does its job. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Okay, so that's the XDeep 140 centimeter narrow dSMB, a decent sized closed cell dSMB. That's a big selling point for me in that whenever you put any amount of gas inside of it, it stays inside of it. So when it reaches the surface, it's always going to stay inflated. Yeah, I can't fault it. Great dSMB, definitely worth checking out. There's going to be more information on our website, simplyscuba.com. There'll be a link down in the description below. Thank you for watching, and of course, safe diving.